Welcome to our channel, and today we are diving into the Express Entry program of Canada. Your gateway to immigration as a skilled worker is open. Whether you're dreaming of a life in Canada or just exploring options, you can always contact us on our WhatsApp number. Today, this video will provide you details about the Express Entry program of the Canadian immigration. This is the official site of the Express Entry program called IRCC or Canada.ca. This website shows that how you can immigrate to Canada and how to protect yourself from fraud and what you can expect when you arrive to Canada. We will go through this website one by one, and we will also see the IRCC calculator at the end, which can give you an idea how much CRS points can you score. You can see here we have a few options such as express entry, family sponsorship, provincial nominations, and a few other visa. But today we are going to focus on immigration as a skilled worker, which is the express entry pool. On the express entry page, we can see the process of how skilled migrants can settle in Canada. It shows a few bullets such as how express entry works, what documents do you need, how to create a profile and submit your expression of interest, what are the rounds of expression of interest, and if you are invited, how to apply for a permanent residence. So what really Express Entry is? Express Entry is an online system used by the Canadian government to manage applicants for permanent residence visa. It is, however, a very competitive process. But if you are well prepared, Express Entry is your way to Canada. First, we need to determine our eligibility for the program. So let's go to the How Express Entry Works window. There are three immigration programs managed through Express Entry. The first is the Canadian Experience class, the second is the Federal Skilled Worker class, and the third is Federal Skilled Trades program. For CEC program, work experience must have been gained in the last 3 years inside Canada. However, for the Federal Skilled Worker program, you need foreign work experience and must meet the criteria of age and a few other factors. You must be qualified in a skilled trade and must have valid job certificate. You can always go to the website to see if you are eligible and check your CRS score. We will also be checking the CRS score at the end of the video. So, the first step is checking your eligibility and under which program do you fall. Our second step is checking the CRS score. Our third step is to get the documents ready. So let's see which documents do we need. These are the few documents for the Express Entry program: a passport, an English language test, a proof of your education, any nominations from any provinces if you got, any employer letters if you have. These both can add up your points, any proof of work experience, any certificate of qualification, and lastly, the most important, the proof of funds. And if you are invited, the few documents which are needed are police certificates, proof of funds, your birth certificate, some representative form, your MRC or marriage certificates. If you are separated, then you need divorce certificate. If your spouse has died, then you need death certificate. We also need these documents for our whole complete family. And if you have some stepchildren, then you need adoption certificate. So your entry into the Express Entry program depends on how valid your work experience is, your English language test, your age, your other family criteria which have been met. And if you meet these criteria, then you can apply for the Express Entry program through the Federal Skilled Worker or Federal Skilled Trades program if you are living outside of Canada. And if you have work experience inside Canada, then you can of course apply through Canadian Experience Class program. The documents must be legit, they must be eligible to apply. After we have sorted out our documents and we have given our IELTS exam or English language test, and if you need extra points, you can also give a French test. Then we create an expression of interest. For the Federal Skilled Worker program, we have to meet some minimum requirements. such as we must have skilled work experience, a language ability, and education. The skilled work experience may vary from tier 0 to tier 3. However, the work experience must be full time and paid. However, if the work experience is full time, it must be at least 30 hours a week. As far as language ability is concerned, we have a few language tests such as IELTS Journal or PTE 4, which show your experience in writing, reading, listening, and speaking. As far as education is concerned, the highest marks scored are for a PhD, then a master's, and then a bachelor's. For your educational assessment, we have to get a ECA, that is Educational Credential Assessment for migration purposes, and that is from designated organizations in Canada such as BES or SPES and a few others. So the selection factor really depends on a few criteria such as age, education, work experience, whether you have a valid job offer, English language results, and your proof of funds. So apart from all the documentation and the basics, the key criteria is the comprehensive ranking system for skilled migrants. This is the website for the calculator for CRS, and to check our points, we will go through the CRS calculator. Our first question is, what is your marital status? If someone is married or single, they can choose it appropriately. We will say that the person is married. Is our spouse or common law partner a citizen or not a citizen? We will select no. We are here choosing the options which are general to an offshore candidate that is not in Canada, and he is trying to migrate to Canada. He is married or she is married, and he or she are the main applicants with their spouse in their country. Will your spouse or common law partner come with you to Canada? Yes. How old are you? Now, the age point really matters because the age points start decreasing when you touch 30. So, before 30, there are constant points for age, but after 30, the points start decreasing. So, we will select 30 years of age. What is the highest level of education? So, we can only select that education level which is accredited by the Educational Credential Assessment, which we get from WES, SES, and other organizations. Let's select a bachelor's degree, though the ideal is a master's or above. Next question is, have you earned a Canadian degree, diploma, or certificate? If you're offshore, we cannot do that. So say we have to select no. Let's select an 8777 score for IELTS journal, and we do not know any French at the moment. Here you can see we have a few options for English language tests such as self-MG, IELTS, and PT4. And for the French test, we have TEF Canada and TCF Canada. This is the highest score we can achieve for the highest points in IELTS journal. So let's select an 8777. Do you have any other language test? Not applicable. What's the work experience which we have in Canada? We have none or less than a year. And what is the work experience we have outside Canada? 3 or more years of work experience gives you equivalent points. Do we have a certificate of qualification? No. Do we have a job offer from a Canadian employer? No. Do we have a nomination from any province? No. Do you or your spouse have any brother or sister living in Canada? Now this also gives you additional points. We will select no for it. The spouse also needs an educational credential assessment from an accredited authority. So we will also select for our spouse a bachelor's degree minimum. And how much work experience inside Canada does the spouse have? We will select none. Now here we also have to select the IELTS test or English language test results for our spouse. However, these results for our spouse do not make much of a difference, but they are needed for skilled migration program. Now let us calculate our final score and see how much we score. The Express Entry candidates get a score out of 1200 based on the 4 parts of the CRS formula. For the core part, for age, we have got 95, for level of education 112, and for official languages, that is for our English, we have 116. So the subtotal for core is 323. For spouse factors, the level of education for bachelor's we get 8. For first official languages, we get 15 marks, that is 26. For education and language proficiency, we get 25 points. And for our foreign work experience, we get 50 points. We do not claim any additional points such as provincial nomination, job offers, study in Canada, or French language skills and our schooling. So that gives zero. So, in short, this comprehensive ranking system formula's grand total points are 4 to 4. We saw how to calculate the points. We got 4 to 4. So, if we remember that our points came out to be 4 to 4. So, where does the 4 to 4 lie? In between 4 to 1 and 430, there are 9,645 candidates. And we can see from 401 to 450, there are 52,000 candidates. And from 451 to 500, there are 60,000 candidates. So approximately 1 lakh candidates are above us. I'm showing this because we have to understand that 4 to 4 is not a very competitive score right now for Canada. To increase the competency, we have to increase our education level to a master's or a PhD. Also, we have to get our English language results high because we cannot change our age. So these two factors are the main which we have to change for the main applicant. Canadian government publishes their results and their scoring. The express entry system 295, which was carried on 24th April 2024. This draw was only for the French language proficiency, and we can see the cutoff came out to be 410. So if you are proficient in French, you could have gotten an invite. However, current scoring is very high for express entry candidates. As I explained you the Canadian immigration system, if you guys need any help in the Canadian immigration program, WhatsApp us on our number which is displayed on the screen. I'm really grateful for you to watch our videos. I hope you understood the Canadian Express Entry program. If you have any queries, you can always WhatsApp us on our number. Let's meet in the next video, and I'm always available to. Goodbye.